What's up, guys? You ever thought about being a promoter, booking bands, just getting more involved with the music scene? Well, Old Head Mike is here to help you out. And I'm going to tell you why it's a good idea to start in 2021 and give you 5 tips to get you started. Let's go. Alright, thanks everybody for coming back to the channel. As I said in my other videos, I am going to start doing more than just reaction videos. I don't want to be just a reaction channel. Those will still keep coming as long as music keeps coming out. In between those, I'm going to keep doing some original content like this and album reviews, top 10 lists, some comedy skits maybe. I don't know, I'm not that funny. But if you've got any ideas, drop some below. Make sure you subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, check out my giveaway video down below. Giving away $70 Amazon gift card. Check out my horror channel and consider checking out my Patreon as well. But let's get to the video. All right, so this year has been absolutely obnoxious, as you all know. Ruined many people's jobs, many people's livelihoods, made people go crazy, literally. I know we're all feeling some strong effects of not having a show in 8 months, something, 9 months actually. Why I think it's a good idea to start preparing to be a show promoter in 2021. Obviously, not right now. Give it still a few more months or whatever, you know, when everybody starts getting those vaccines, stuff starts opening back up because we might be closing again. Once things chill out, hopefully within this next year, it's going to be a great idea to be a show promoter. And here's why. I mean, it's pretty obvious, you know, bands are going to be anxious to play shows. You know, they've been sitting there honing their craft. I think next year is going to be a great year for music because, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are sitting in their homes writing, you know, feeling a lot of different mental effects, and it's gonna make people put a little more into their music than when they're just normally grinding. People are ready to start going to shows. You know, they want to get out there and see music, mingle with people. Once things open back up, once things calm back down, and venues are going to want to start getting people in the doors, you know, buying some beers, buying some tacos, whatever it is. Everyone wants to start doing things again. And when you are a show promoter, you connect people to music. And this is going to be your opportunity. If you've always thought about it, I think it's a good idea. As long as you do it smart, there's not really much overhead. If you do it right. I was a show promoter for about 2 years. Had some successful shows, had some unsuccessful shows, some rough ones. But I've been in the scene for 13, 15 years, something like that. So I've learned a lot and learned a lot in those 2 years that I was promoting. The only reason I stopped is because I had another kid. Now I got 2 kids. And then I started doing this. And so now it's just, you know, I don't have time to do that, you know. I've never had time to go to shows to begin with. So anyways, let's get to the 5 tips that I've got for you guys. So number 5, have the right motivations / know that you're not going to get rich quick. You need to, if you want to be a promoter, you know, don't do it because you think you're going to get rich and famous. You're going to get to hang out with all these bands. Do it because you love music, because you want to connect people with music. You have the power to get new fans to bands, get bands to new different areas, get bands connected with other bands. You connect people. And so you need to have that desire to do that. If you don't care about music, if you don't really have a passion for music, I don't think you'll be that successful because, you know, I mean, you've got to know what's good. You got to know what people like, what people will like, what bands are going to like, who they're going to want to work with. You know, you hold up all these bands. And again, know that you won't get rich quick. As I said before, there can be low overhead as long as you do it right and do research, which I will get into those in a second. But you do have to be prepared to lose. It is a high risk as well. As I said before, I've had, in fact, my first show, you know, was not very successful at all. I tried to hype it up a lot. Had some good bands come through. A band called Contra. They were really good. Facebook buddies with the vocalist still, but I did not have the money to pay them when that show happened, and nobody came out. I brought some of my own money, in preparation in case no one came, and so we had agreed to, I think it was like 150 or something, and I had like $60, something like that, that I scrounged up, and they were not very happy, but at the same time they were cool with it. They understood, they were like, okay, it's whatever, just give us what you can, and thanks for trying. I've also had bands that they agreed to like 300, and then I sold 10 tickets, and I didn't have my own money, and big mistake there. They were not very happy. I was like, well, hey, I get paid next week from my job, so I'll Facebook you the money. And they were like, all right, just don't let it happen again. Okay, I don't know what that band's doing now, but whatever. But I'll give you some tips in a second to get around that. All right, number 4, reputation. This job is all about reputation. When you become friends with these bands, when you become friends with people in your scene, when you become friends with venue people, once you get known, people want to work with you, and you keep growing and getting more people to come, getting bigger people to come. Do things right. Be nice to everyone, be upfront with everybody, be truthful, and be quick about it. Like I said, if you don't have the money to pay somebody, you let them know that. You say, hey, I'm short, things didn't work out like it did. Is there anything I can do to help? Let me know what you need. Build that reputation with people. Don't be that guy that you don't have the money to pay, so you just scoop out, and then bands are like, where the fuck did this guy go? Where's our money? You will not last long. People will start catching on, and no one's going to want to work with you. Reputation. Number 3, know your support and your local bands. As I said before, bands are going to be wanting to get out. Bands are working on honing their craft, getting practice in, writing new stuff. Go check out everyone that's around you. If you want to do metalcore shows, check out all the metalcore bands. If you want to do pop punk, which pop punk, I've had very successful pop punk shows, just FYI. You can even do mixed genre, by the way. If you didn't know that, I've had rap groups come in with metalcore and it do really well. But anyways, get to know these guys, get to know the bands, be like, hey, I'm looking to put some shows together next year. Just wanting to know if you guys would be interested in that kind of stuff. Send me some of your music, etc., stuff like that. Get to know these people, get to be friends with them, and they're more likely to come out and support when you need to find bands, because bands are going to want to hit you up, once you start getting that reputation, and you're going to need support. You're going to need local bands to come out and help draw more people. If no one knows who you are, they're gonna be like, I don't know, So build that reputation and know your local bands. Number 2, kind of the same as the third one, but with venues. Find your venues, get to know the owners, get to know the places, locations, go to some of their shows, see how those are. Some places are not very hardcore friendly, obviously, because they get rowdy. I know there's a venue here in Dallas that is pretty accessible and affordable, but they bring a lot of biker people, and nothing wrong with them, but they don't really mesh well with hardcore scene. They got those pit bulls out there. That's a whole nother video. Yeah, get you a nice little spreadsheet, get you a notebook, whatever you want. Do that the same with the bands as well. But get you a notebook, spreadsheet, call all these venues, get lists, locations, ask for their room fees, what they charge, if they have a door person, if you need to bring your own door person, because you might need to do that, which I highly suggest, because it usually shaves a little bit off of the door fee, or you don't have to pay them extra to have somebody do it for you, and it just kind of lessens the exchanging of money. If you don't trust other people, you get to have your own person, or you yourself get to do that. Plus you get to greet everybody and be like, oh hey, thanks for coming out. Building reputation again with a low overhead. As I said before, look into cheaper venues, there's nothing wrong with those. I've used free venues several times. There's some restaurants out there that glad to have bands no matter who they are, because they get people in to eat their food, and it works really well. And you need to know in advance, what these people charge, because there's some smaller places that charge stupid prices that you would not think. And it turns out it's because, Third String owns them, and they have like a little monopoly, No offense to you guys out there, how the cookie crumbles. Anyways, last but not least, number one, pay your bands. Pay your bands. I guarantee you will make some local bands very happy just by paying them a little bit. As I said before, I had a pop punk show that was really, really successful. We sold like 60 tickets in a tiny little venue, taco place. The touring band only wanted like $100, so that left like plenty left over, and I was able to split it between all the local opening bands and myself. And let me tell you, one of these bands almost started crying because they were like, we get paid, and yeah, like we made money. What do you mean? Because there's people out there that they're just like, oh, they're local, nobody knows them, no one cares, they get people to see them, that's their benefit. No, man, this is what they want to do. This is their job as well. So we're all working together. When you make a profit, you share it. And again, if you don't make a profit, let bands know. I highly suggest having just a little bit of money at least. So if you don't make any profit, for your local bands, give them $10, something, give them anything, to cover their gas to the venue, cover a little bit of their time, cover their dinner, something. You got to give everybody something, and everyone's going to want to work with you when they know that you're that guy that helps everyone out. Again, ties back to reputation, super important thing. So yeah, pay your bands, try to make as good as you can with those deals that you make with the touring bands. If they want 300, don't be afraid to haggle them, by the way. Some of them are not worth that 300. Just saying. But anyways, that's really it. Again, I think it's going to be a good idea. If you've been thinking about it, now's your chance to start getting to know these local bands, starting to know who plays what type of music, what bands would go well together. So when stuff opens up, when things clear up, you can just get out there and start banging out, putting out, ass slappers of shows, ass beater shows, ass shows. Again, thanks for dropping by. Let me know what you guys thought. If you like this content or any other metalcore content, stab that subscribe button for all your metalcore needs. Check out my horror channel. Consider checking out my Patreon. Don't forget about my giveaway as well. Other than that, thanks for dropping by. Old Ed Mike signing off, reminding you, never too old for this.